Today, we're going to break down a new way to look at your health. Forget thinking of it as just one big fuel tank that you drain and refill. Instead, picture a dynamic network of energies that you can actively build and balance. This is basically your blueprint for resilience. So let's just dive right in with a feeling I'm sure we all know. That sense that life is just a constant battle against chaos. You're trying to keep it all together, but there's always this subtle, persistent pull towards fatigue, decline, and kind of falling apart. Well, that feeling, it actually has a name in science, entropy. It's a universal force, and, getting a handle on it is pretty central to winning the fundamental battle for our own health. So, what is entropy? It's the universal law that says all systems, and that includes our bodies, naturally drift from a state of order toward disorder. It's like this constant tide that's always pulling everything towards a breakdown. It's the simple reason your room gets messy all by itself, but it never ever cleans itself. That's entropy.
But, and this is the crucial part, there's a counterforce, potential energy. This is the good stuff. It's the cultivated reserve of order that we build up to push back against entropy. It's the force of renewal that creates resilience, the vitality that keeps us in balance. It's what we build to fight that natural breakdown. But here's the thing, this potential energy isn't just one giant reservoir. It's much cooler than that. Instead, you should think of it as a network of 6 distinct but interconnected streams of vitality. And together, they form the entire architecture of your health. And these are the 6 forms of energy that we really need to get a handle on: chemical, physical, mental, voluntary, restorative, and elastic energy. Understanding each one is the key because it helps you see your health not as a single problem to solve, but as a complete system to nurture.
Okay, so let's start with chemical energy. Think of this as the literal fuel for life itself. It's the raw power we unlock from our food and the oxygen we breathe, and it powers every single function in every single cell. It's our body's most fundamental currency.
So if chemical energy is the fuel, then physical energy is the engine that actually gets it flowing. Movement circulates all those nutrients and oxygen. It strengthens our entire system, and it sends a powerful signal to the body that it's alive and engaged. It's what turns all that potential into real, tangible action. Then we have mental energy. And you have to appreciate this. Your brain is an absolute powerhouse. Get this, it consumes nearly 20% of your body's total energy just to think. This energy is what fuels your awareness and lets you direct your focus and find clarity. You could say it's the conductor of the entire orchestra.
Voluntary energy is just fascinating. It's the force of our conscious choices. And here's the wild part. When your actions actually align with your core values and your sense of purpose, your body responds with measurable harmony. It actually helps regulate stress hormones and lowers inflammation. This is basically the energy of integrity.
And just as crucial is restorative energy. This is the quiet, essential work of sleep and deep rest. During this downtime, your brain cleans out waste, your hormones recalibrate, and your body rebuilds every other energy system. Let me be clear, this is absolutely non-negotiable for long-term health. Finally, there's elastic energy. This is your capacity to bend without breaking. It's your ability to absorb shocks, to adapt to stress, and even to use challenges to grow stronger and more resilient. It's your bounce-back ability. Now here is where the real power of this whole model comes into play, because none of these energies work in isolation. They form a single, interconnected, living web of health. So the core idea is pretty simple. Health is harmony. When one of these energy streams starts to run low, it doesn't just affect that one area. No, it creates a ripple effect that can weaken the entire system, pulling the rest out of balance. Let's use a real-world example. Say you neglect your restorative energy by getting poor sleep. Well, it doesn't just make you feel tired. It actually depletes your chemical energy, leaving your cells without fuel. It undermines your physical energy, making movement feel like a huge chore. It scatters your mental energy, leading to brain fog. And it weakens your voluntary energy, making it way harder to make good choices. But here's the good news. The opposite is also completely true. When you invest in one area, you create positive ripples everywhere. Take something as simple as a daily walk. That one act of physical energy boosts your chemical energy. It sharpens your mental focus, it supports your restorative energy by helping you sleep deeper, and it enhances your elastic energy. One single action strengthens the whole web. So, what's the key takeaway here? Well, the most empowering idea is that you are not a passive victim of entropy. Not at all. You're an active investor. You can actually manage your health by treating these 6 energies like a personal portfolio.
So let's make this personal. I want you to take a quick, honest inventory right now. Looking at those 6 energies, which one feels like your strongest asset? And more importantly, which one feels the most depleted? Where are you most in debt? Maybe you're physically strong but mentally scattered, or full of purpose but just completely exhausted. Okay, here's how you can start making deposits today. Just pick the one energy that feels most strained, and for just 1 week, commit to one small action. A 20-minute walk, a consistent bedtime, 5 minutes of journaling. Look, the goal isn't perfection. It's just to experience for yourself how strengthening one single thread can lift the entire web. Ultimately, this whole framework really challenges us to redefine what wealth is. It suggests that true abundance isn't what's in our bank accounts, but what's in our internal reserves, our capacity to heal, to adapt, and to stay balanced against that constant pull of disorder. And that leaves us with a final thought. How differently would we design our lives if this, our own potential energy, was our primary measure of success?